Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Twitchy94. Today's One Piece reactor. A little bit different. We got a 1080p resolution. I just had some Powerade, so my thong is kind of orange. But screw it. It is close enough to red to where we're just going to roll with it. Because I do know, based on the title, if you've recognized, this is going to be a Shanks-focused chapter. Now, what happened last week? Better question, what didn't happen last week? My goodness, one of the Gorosei replaced Goodbye Saturn. Hello, Garling. Potential tie-in to this chapter with Shanks. We have all the Vegapunks surviving. 4 of them up above. York on the island still, and then Lilith still with us presently on the Straw Hats heading to Elbaf. And the Revolutionaries. It's time to make a move, Dragon. So, get to it. All right, so what do I expect from this chapter? So this is kind of like pre-Elbaf. That's the best way I would describe this. And because of that, I think we will get a direct continuation of the last time that we saw Shanks. Sorry, fumbling my tongue today. Pause. And I think it will show where he's going directly after leaving Elbaf. So he might be going after the man marked by fire. He might know the silhouette for 1124, which Vonte might be joining a little bit later today. He was saying that might be Shiki. So if you have any discussions that you want to have with us, I will go ahead and link our dual reaction channel, Discord, into the chat. Just give me 1 second to get that pulled up because I was not prepared. Yeah, how's everyone doing tonight? All right, so you can join our dual Discord with that link in the chat. But otherwise, I think that's enough yapping. Let me go ahead and take a quick swig of my Powerade, and we'll get started. Okay, chapter 1126, Taking Responsibility. Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 14. A local soba shop in Kuri is reporting missing girls. This was hinted at, and I did bring this to the attention of Vonte and Sharm previously, in terms of there seems to be some sort of governmental kidnapping program, and it was the CP something, whatever, suit and tie, black suit, black hat, running off into the distance once Yamato arrived. So missing girls is never fun, especially with how Wano used to be. But let's continue our giant jolly festival. It was a while after we left you guys at Water 7. We couldn't wait to see the captains again, so we went to Little Garden ourselves. So that's what happened. Anyone be curious after 100 years? And this is kind of paneled weird, but I think I'm supposed to move to the left first. No, I guess not. That's a completely different conversation. When we got there, these two were still going at it, barehanded. Ga ba 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 ba. Huh? How come? Sometimes weapons just break. Ga 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 ga. You think a punch is enough to take down these stubborn oafs? Da pa pa pa. That's a real problem. When you're in a duel to the death, in the end, they got us to go back to Elbaf with them. We had to arm ourselves again. Think that giant has a tattoo on his head? Which, that's another thing that we haven't really delved into in One Piece. There is a lot of foreshadowing, not just with the sun tattoo, but just with tattoos in general. So what sort of affiliation does that giant have with that seemingly fire tattoo? We'll see. You went for new weapons? So you're still fighting? Of course! I'm done. Come on, Nami. Didn't you learn a thing back on Little Garden? You tell her, Usopp. This is some strong booze. It's called absinthe, the green fairy. Careful, there's a chance it'll make you hallucinate. Yeah. Hallucinate? God, what is this, like super proof moonshine? Luffy's running around with a big old stick of meat. Pause. Celebrating, drinking, singing, laughing, dancing, posing. Oh, Bonnie. We finally got to reach it together. Kuma smiles. The horizon. An incident occurred just over a month ago here at Gartel Island in the New World. The pirate, Bartolomeo the Cannibal, entered Emperor Redshank's territory and burned the city's flag, a blatant affront to the Emperor. Oh my God, don't tell me that Bartolomeo got... Bruh, no! I love him! What are we doing? Many crews and islands rely on my flag. If I just let this slide, people would lose faith in it, and my friends and allies would become targets. You're absolutely right. Please forgive us. We weren't thinking. It was a foolish mistake. People looking on. This is a deadly poison. See to it that Straw Hat Luffy takes this within a month. What? It causes intense pain. Blood erupts from the victim till they finally die. We can overlook this if your boss takes responsibility. There's no way we could do that to Luffy senpai. He's also got like a huge poison resistance. Bartolomeo. Bite, huh? Gulp. Nani? Boss. Oyabun. Yamate Oyabun. You're gonna die. Gulp, gulp. It'll make you and make your blood spurt out. It's fine by me. Huff, huff. Luffy senpai never asked us to share that sake or take up his flag. I ain't gonna get him involved in my mess. His time is too precious to waste on someone like me. I'm good being just another scrub who got killed trying to show up an emperor. Shanks kind of look at him. That's an interesting look here with him and Bartolomeo side by side. I want to say disinterested, maybe? He doesn't look disappointed. He looks... I'm assuming this is a test. I would doubt it if Bartolomeo died here, but we'll see. Oh, man. I wish I could have seen Luffy senpai become Pirate King. Damn it all. I threw that chance away like an idiot. It's up to you guys now. Oyaboon. See you around, guys. Burp. Huh? Wow, they just left us be. Let's get as far away as possible. Looks like that poison was a fake. It wouldn't have hurt Luffy senpai at all. I thought the emperors were meant to be ruthless. He was softer than I expected. What are you smirking about? Isn't it hard not to smile? He's so dedicated to Luffy. Hey boss, mind stepping out of the way? We still gotta teach him a lesson. Yasop? Oh. All things considered, not the worst. On this day by Gartel Island, the Barto Club pirate ship was sunk. Boom. It is unknown if there are any survivors. Okay, so just seeing this panel makes me 100% believe that Kid is still alive. Just saying. Hachinosu, Pirate Island. How the hell did you let this happen, Pizarro? I haven't been gone that long. It's not that simple. Yeah. Didn't you hear? The world is on the brink. The poneglyphs ain't an obscure secret anymore. We emperors are gonna have to tear each other to pieces over them. You think the government and navy are just gonna stand by? We ain't gonna win unless we're ready. Kobe was our ace in the hole, and you're telling me he got away? I'm sorry, Teach. Just hear me out. That is not going to be the official translation. I almost guarantee it. But my God, shout out to TCB for this. It ain't like I just let him scurry away. Where'd the shish ship go? And you let Maury escape too. I don't know how I feel about that. That's... We'll talk about that later. To the left. Watch your ass. Commodore! We're ready for anything. Everyone knows you're the man who'll claim the One Piece, Blackbeard. The one who's gonna take over the world. Ah! Alright, this double spread is nice. Little Blackbeard, Grand Fleet type of squad shot. At least morale is on the rise. That's something we gotta take advantage of. Now, let me hear it, Kuzan. Kobe got away. But, well, we caught Garp. Zehaha. Now, that's what I call a consolation prize. You keep finding a way to trade up, Captain. Yeah. And again, I love the perspective. So, you have San Juan on the outside looking in. You have Pizarro kind of coming out of the wall, so to speak. He's protruding. You got Jesus Burgess. I forget the drinker dude, but then we have Kuzan in the foreground, Teach in the back, and then we got the invisible swordsman. To be honest, I was going for the kill, but he survived. Yeah, okay. He's probably smiling underneath that smirk, like, get out of here. Don't be hard on yourself, Kuzan. There ain't many who can take him down, you know? Well, it was a team effort. Looks like the winds of fortune are favoring us. Oh, Puddin'. Well, damn it. We also snagged this three-eyed girly here. Hey, get your Lafayette on the line. Ah! Ooh, what's going on with him? Lafitte. I said Lafayette. What is this? A Toyota car commercial? I meant Lafitte. I know that's not what I said, but let's just pretend that I meant to say that. Navy Umit Shipping HQ. Click. Gotcha. Yes, Commodore Teach? What are those revolutionaries up to? Seems like their siege is proving effective, and the Red Port's Bondalus keep breaking down whenever they try to load them with food. Okay, so a war of attrition. I like that. All supply shipments from foreign nations have been halted too. Mary Joie, Navy HQ. Even when the Navy manages to secure food, they can't stop the sabotage Bondalas from crashing. The Celestial Dragons may really start to starve at this rate. It's all quite unprecedented, really. Not to mention engaging. Zehahaha. This ain't the time to sit back and watch. Get ready. Understood. Pirate Island, Pizarro, we've arrived. Yeah, it's Devon. Pick us up. Docking you guys is always such a pain. Yeah. You know I'm injured, right? Interesting. All right, guys. I feel a tickle in my throat. I have a bit of a cough. I've held it off for now, but I will be back in like 2 to 3 minutes. Be right back. Okay, yes. Thank you, Vontae, for sharing the love while I was away. All right, let's get back into it. We got Slick Dick Rick over here. Oh, hell nah. It's a monster. Don't take me. Big bro, big sis, save me. Quit jabbering. You brought that guy, didn't you? Uh-huh. Oh, I hate him so much. It's been 2 days since the giant warrior pirates set off from Egghead. However, even with the sailing speed of the great Eirik, they have yet to arrive at Elbaf. What's going on? Did we all pass out drunk? Where's the sunny gone? I can't see it. What could have caused this? They're surrounded by sea beast. We've got to find them. We can't head to Elbaf like this. Maybe they were swallowed by a fish? Quit it! The fish here are so massive that just might be true. Luffy, where'd you go? Nami. Hey, wake up. Blink? Oh, I must have had too much to drink. Huh? Where is this foreboding place? Legoland? What? What? I am so confused right now. All right, let me add Vontae. Interesting.
Yo, what is that? So immediately, I thought about Loki because Loki
Trickster.
he was trying to get with Lola, right? Yeah, Lola, and then Nami.
Oh, and Nami being kidnapped again.
Yeah.
You bitch. At first, it looked a little bit comical. I was thinking like Big Mom stuff, but no, I think you might be on.
And then the little rose, whatever those rose objects are.
Yeah, some sort of flowers.
Hmm.
But it's only her. Well,
Right.
as far as we can tell for right now.
As for the rest of them, no idea. But typical Oda got split up the crew in the beginning of the arc some way, you know what I'm saying?
Legos, though, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah. I never thought about this, but it would be cool to see I guess Loki's men, bodyguards, whatever, see what kind of characters they are.
You know what this reminded me of? It reminded me of Black Clover with the captain who was always asleep and could essentially affect reality with her dreams.
Right.
So I obviously saw your thumbnail with Bucktooth Shanks. What? So was that just for the memes, or was that just because you did not like what happened there?
Kind of both. Not that I dislike what happened there, but I was talking to Sherman about this earlier too, and the red hair pirates are just so strange to me, and we've talked about it too before. They're so strange because on one hand you have Shanks saying that oh, I can't let this slide when we first transitioned to them and the whole Bartos stuff. And then he's like, all right, it's okay. It's fine. And then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? Bye-bye. And then Yasop say, no, Captain. We can't let him slide. And boom. Shoot him. Sink. I just feel like they're so mostly Shanks, but I feel like their crew in general are just kind of I don't know what Oda's doing. He's I get that
the best way I
pirates.
would describe the red hair pirates is their reputation precedes them, and they also have a soft spot for Luffy.
For Luffy, yes, but at the same time, they just killed his fanboy, or quote unquote killed his fanboy. I just find it strange how they can flip a switch immediately. They can go from just having a good time, goofy, chilling, to just like, oh, we got to kill. I can understand Kid because he's somebody that's obviously going up the ranks, and he just wasn't going to stop, and he was going to end up killing Shanks's fleet.
Yeah.
But when it goes to Barto, he was kind of under the same, like, he's under the same realm because even Barto said, like, all right, I'll just die as some scrub or whatever it's challenging the Yonko, which literally is like mentioning or implicitly mentioning Kid in a way, which is kind of funny because he said scrub. But like, I don't know. It's like you first you wanted to punish him, then you said no, and then one of your boys just killed him off anyway.
And
You
I
switched
know
up
that
three
Shanks
times.
hasn't had a lot of screen time in this series, especially not recently. He had some very interesting facial expressions this chapter.
Yeah, really. It was like two panels that I noticed. I was like, what the hell? Why is he looking
Like
at
the
that?
one where he's kind of like looking down and to the left, and
Yeah.
then the other one where he's kind of like smirking. Isn't it hard not to smile? He's so dedicated to Luffy. There's something very strange about that.
Very. Let's see. Oh, and Sherman mentioned because remember the other day when he said there's like a theory that he didn't know if he should share it or not because
Yeah,
of this
yeah.
chapter. So yeah, he had let me know. So I'm gonna read it real quick in Discord.
Okay.
So obviously Shanks used poison in this chapter, right? For Barto though, poison in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, he was saying that apparently people when they're talking in the leaks, they're saying that like Shanks is more of like an assassin rather than like a quote unquote a hockey man or whatever he's known to be. Um, which I'm gonna compare him to somebody after I read it. But
Okay.
also they're relating that poisoning thing to him poisoning Roger, which it would be wild,
Okay.
especially when you think about that whole scene and him crying and all that. But and then in the beginning of the story, the bottle of alcohol he tried to give to the mountain bandit was poisoned and it got thrown on him, which people were saying might have weakened him, and that's why he got his arm bit off.
Wait. Back up a sec. That was what do you mean that was poison? The
Poison,
Are they speculating that it was poison?
yeah, speculate. Yeah, this is all speculation.
Oh,
Based
and
off
it
of like
weakened him?
different bottles and poison. Yeah, I don't know about that part, but that was just the part that apparently people were
Okay.
talking about. But the
Okay.
ones that I really liked was the whole Roger that point.
Mm.
Because why does he
That would
just have poison on him?
recontextualize some stuff.
Like, why does he have poison on him? I'm like, it's not that it's like a crazy like, what are you doing with that? It's not, but it is kind of specific.
Let's take that at face value. Let's just assume that he is an assassin. He has rose up to the highest ranks in the pirates. That's possible. And that might be the reason why the Gorosei said, because it's you, Shanks, is because he is the government assassin. He is the arm of the government.
Right. It's interesting because didn't he say that? Well, not Shanks, but his man said to like give this to Luffy, and then Barto just drank it anyway, or did I get that wrong? Was he supposed to do it for Luffy?
No. He was supposed to. He says, "See to it that Straw Hat Luffy takes this within a month." Which also, like, what? That's a weird phrasing as well. What do you mean within a month? Like, why is it on a timer?
Because that's what we in the final arc. that's older talk, basically. Like in series time, it's about a month until. Which
No,
makes
but
sense.
like, let's just look at it from like an in-story perspective. What should happen within a month?
No, I honestly think it's kind of the same answer. Like, what else would there be in a month in One Piece time? Because in
Do you think
this
in One
chapter and
Piece
in the last
time
chapter,
the series will be over?
yeah, within a month, like from what he said,
Oh, here's a thought.
I,
In the
I think
past,
so.
we've speculated that Shanks is kind of like a master hockey guy. What if
Yeah.
his observation hockey only works a month out?
Hmm. Maybe that's also another thing too. Um, there's something else I thought about with Shanks.
Shout out to Bartolomeo though, taking one for the team.
Yeah. Um, and then Yasop doing that, like that was kind of like,
Do you
why
think
would
he
Shanks
shot
let him do
explosives
that?
on board? Do you think that
Nah,
he fired a cannon? It just looks
I
like a
think
rifle to me.
I think he shot out explosives on the ship that blew up. So he
I think
saw
so too.
observation hockey. Oh, I was talking to Sherm earlier too. I was thinking that like advanced observation on like say for like Yasop for example. I'm
X-ray
thinking that
vision.
not only that, but I think that it would be cool if like remember how Chopper used to use brain point,
Yep, with the
something
whole
similar
scope
to that.
thing.
Right. I think it would be pretty cool if, like, say you can like latch your observation hockey because you know what other hockeys you can like armament and such you can coat different weapons. It would be cool if you can
Onto the
coat
eyes?
onto the bullet. So like, say you put
Oh.
your observation on the bullet, and the tip of the bullet is now your eyes essentially. So that's how it's able to travel and hit a target. And I was thinking about that because think about like say like Mihawk for example. I mean his eyes are sharp.
Hmm.
I assume that he has some crazy observation hockey. I was thinking that like Mihawk would probably made him so damn lethal in general is because he's able to like pinpoint around hockey. Like say if somebody is using hockey to like on their arm and they're trying to block one of his slashes. Obviously they're using it
Hmm.
so they can block it and defend it. But I think observation hawking can give you like sight on like a chink in the armor type of situation where it's like one little spot, one little missing spot that's not
Hmm.
protecting somebody's body where you can attack. And I also think that with observation hockey, you can literally pinpoint people's organs and how
Yeah.
like lethal you want to slice them. Because I was thinking back to the Zoro fight against Mihawk, and like
How he
obviously,
cut him but did not kill him.
exactly. So I'm like, that would be pretty
Hmm.
cool because kind of like when I was talking about the other day about devil fruits, the three different types, and how all of them, more or less throughout the series, has gotten enough focus. I think
Sure.
observation that can be something for that for sure.
Yeah, because we haven't really seen advanced observation hockey. I mean, you could think future sight to a certain extent, but it just seems more so just like an added buff for most of our characters. Like you don't see Luffy using observation hockey to look into the future. At least I'm pretty sure we haven't seen that since Whole Cake Island. I could be
Mm-hmm.
wrong, but
Yeah, I think it's the last time.
it
Cat.
just seems like it's out of sight. Like, oh, you're just to assume at this point everyone's just kind of able to look into the future a little bit. And I guess that might be a reason why some of these fights have been like weeks long, because if each person is able to look into the future, it's just like you're constantly playing chess 4 moves
Right.
ahead for each side.
Yeah. 100%. Which is fire because all that countering you gotta have. Once again, like we talked about Luffy and his devil fruit. Like he doesn't have that stamina compared to some other people. At least from what we know right now.
Hmm.
Like he ain't fighting 10 days straight against somebody like Akainu or Aokiji. If they're like say both are around even strength, he's gonna pass out, gotta eat, get back up.
Yep. So 2 more confirmations. Garp is still alive, though
Yep.
not officially killed.
I'm ready
And
for that
then
God Valley. I know it's gonna come. That's been my biggest prediction forever. It's coming from him.
you notice Vontae how he's chained up just like Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Who's he gonna have a conversation with on the other side? I think it's Kuzan. I think at this point it's just like
Oh,
guaranteed
for sure.
Kuzan's playing both sides.
Man, that's gonna. Ooh.
And
What
then
if
Pudding, she's here.
right? What's gonna happen? Everybody's making a move. Last chapter, we seen that dragon was like, "All right, I'm gonna hurry now. It's about time." We seen obviously Shanks. I want to claim the One Piece. Blackbeard's crew. This chapter, we out. We're doing some things right now. So
And like 3 straight or like 3 chapters out of like 4 about where they're talking about the starvation or the food shortages for the
right.
Celestial Dragons. Like, it's not an accident at this point. Oda is trying to stress that point. There's going to be consequences for that.
Yep. And then you have the world government making moves by getting Garland in the seat. So it's a lot of moves being there's a lot going on. And I think Elbaf right now is going to be similar to Egghead, where we're going to have more pull-ups from other people. I'm not sure exactly who. At this point, I mean, Blackbeard's been everywhere. And his crew in general has been everywhere. Like, especially Von Auger, literally has a warport crew. But he was with Aokiji when they got Pudding. He was going against Law. And then he went to Egghead too. Like, Von Auger, he went 3 for 3.
So not only are the Straw Hats, half of the Straw Hats missing, but also the actual giant ship itself, Eirik, is not at Elbaf.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's.
It reminds me of kind of like the outside waters of Wano, to
Right.
where there was a continuous type of, movement or like a traffic surveying movement of people that prevented them from getting in.
That's a good point. It's funny too, because in this chapter we seen, what's his name, Lafitte. I remember he was the guy. He was the one who mentioned about that the dark ship that's like, what they say, like there's some like ship out there that's I forgot what he said, that's like sinking other ships or something like that, from some mysterious person. We don't know who it is. And the anime, they just had it blacked out, the ship blacked out, so we don't know. It'd be interesting if that's the person that's doing this here right now.
Do you remember where that was in the story? I don't remember that plot point at all.
It was during Egghead.
During
pretty
Egghead,
early.
okay.
Yeah, it happened.
I have to go back and read that.
Yeah, somewhere around. It wasn't that long ago in the anime. A few episodes back, like 4 or 5. Somewhere before Garp coming to Beehive for Pirate Island.
Do you have the chapter pulled up?
Nope. I don't know where's that. I just remember that it was somewhere around there.
No, I mean this chapter.
Oh yeah, this one. No, I'm gonna go to it right now.
I want you to take a look at the very last page. There's something interesting on the right-hand side of that panel. It looks somewhat like an insignia of someone or something with a beak.
You see on the right-hand side?
On the wall.
Oh, I see you. I see you. Oh, yeah, definitely. It's pale.
Hi, pal. Do we know how Morgan ended up like he was? Was he always like a Birdman? Or was he initially maybe a person that got converted into a Birdman?
I don't think we ever knew.
I think there's been a lot of speculation that he was a guy at first that got turned into a bird person. Shout out Rick and Morty. I don't know. Maybe like the Lego aesthetic is just tripping me up. I don't know what to think of that.
Also, I was just talking to Sherm too a little bit before you started the stream. Does this make Big Mom stocks climb a little bit higher, even more? Like what we already said, we're on Egghead. I mean, we're on Elbaf. Nami is a focal point here. That's all. Just that Nami is a focal point.
Oh, like increase her stocks as in like she's gonna come back.
Probably, yeah. It's likely. Um, I personally am not that mad if he comes back, but for me, Kaido, that I'll be mad.
I think for Big Mom, what I would prefer is that like she officially, and like I know she's been replaced as a Yonko, but officially I would love it if she was like emaciated. If she turned into kind of like the Stussy version, the original Stussy version that had Weevil, uh save my
Oh,
son. I've got Smoker's voice.
oh, okay, I see.
I
Oh
want her
yeah,
to
yeah,
become more like I understand she's giant, but I would love it.
like
She
an
was
old
like
lady,
old lady, just like maybe she has
kind
a
of like Mother
cane.
Carmel. Her,
Hmm.
yeah, kind of
Yep.
like that, but even worse.
So if they do bring her back, I want her to be like a shell of herself. That's what I would like. Because you
Okay.
can still get some character stuff, like all the children, all the different fathers that she's had, like what did she do to get the devil fruit to Kaido? Like, did she have a blood oath? We know that there's a lot of implications of like magic going on behind the scenes, especially with the circles on the ground, uh the summoning circles for the Gorosei.
Right.
So there could also be more magic kind of going on that we haven't really seen before.
That'd be pretty cool and kind of meta too, because I feel like 'cause I've talked about this before. I feel like if Oda were to bring her back, it would probably make her look like how she did when she was a little younger, just because like, oh
Yeah,
she melted the fat off her body or some shit like that. But I like what you said because then that kind of hones in on like her.
the character, not just her as like a Yonko.
Yeah, exactly, and like actually becoming what she. Not what she should have been. I don't want to say that, but I mean, you got a lot of fucking kids, so yeah, you should be a loving mother, grandmother, all that. So yeah,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't mind if she came back at all.
Does she
It
have
would
any
probably make more
grandchildren yet?
sense.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. Does she?
What's her name? Capone's son from Six
Oh,
Army.
technically, yeah. Okay, so she has at
And
least one
I'd
grandchild.
assume so. Just I mean, what Katakuri is like her third oldest, and he's like 50,
Well,
damn near.
Brulee's not married. We know that.
He's damn near like 50 years old, so probably.
Oh, I saw a really cool like artwork of Brulee, Katakuri, and Pedo. I'll try to send in our Discord. Pedodine. It was
Man.
a really wholesome type of. I'll look for it later, but yeah, it was really nice.
And plus, it would make more sense for her to survive, like whether that's like Kaido helping and saving her because he owes her, whether that's her like soul stuff saving her. Like, there's a lot of reasons for her to survive.
You want to talk? You want to talk about something that would be like metal as hell? If Kaido died, his skeletal figure of a dragon was worn around her neck like a scarf.
Oh wow. People would be pissed off at that. I don't care. It's not my boy. Talk about desecrating the grave, not necessarily, but this is surrounding. That would be hilarious.
And I haven't really been paying attention to Nami's outfit, so I could be completely off base with this. Is she in a new outfit that's not her Elbeth outfit, or am I just tripping?
Good point. Because early in the chapter, were they still wearing their? Wait, no, they wouldn't have. I don't think they were wearing it. No, they weren't. I remember Zoro had that band thing.
No, I think they changed, but I can't remember seeing if Nami was.
Let me see.
No, she wasn't wearing this outfit. She was wearing something else.
Yep, this reminds me of Thriller Bark all over again with Absalom, but this time with Loki, which is funny because Lola, yeah, that's hilarious. Lola and back then.
Yeah, so Nami's got a new outfit on. So someone either dressed her or this is an illusion.
Yeah. That's interesting. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know why.
100%.
This just
100%.
resonated with me when I first said Loki and he said trickster. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Have we ever
So
seen a
let's.
giant that had a devil fruit?
I was gonna say that.
Maybe
No.
Samoan Wolf. I think. I think he did. Even though he's
Did he
already
have
big as
one? Because
fuck.
isn't he like
Yeah,
the ship?
yeah, he is. But I remember when all of them, when they showed like Von Auger, everybody get their new fruits. I think it did say a giant fruit. So he was already big as hell, and then he
Oh,
got a
yo,
giant
yeah,
fruit.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I was
Okay,
like,
okay,
whoa. Okay, so that might be.
okay. We got to
Damn.
get that to Usopp. Usopp's got to get that fruit.
Also, please, Oda, please let it be his arc, man, please.
So
Because you already
let's
set
talk
up
about
Nami
the.
to being a focal point. Well, actually, it's good. Both of them, good.
Yeah,
They
if
both
you
need to
can
be.
make Elbaf like a dual focus for Nami and Usopp, oh boy, Oda, you are cooking. I was
Please.
gonna ask, do you think it's too late in the story for one of the Straw Hats to get a new Devil Fruit?
Nah, never. It's never too late for any of the other ones, especially the ones who. I mean, because most of them haven't like nothing exciting has happened for any straw for most straw hats in post time skip. Yeah, when I mean nothing is exciting, that's kind of just me even saying that just sounds bad
Mm-hmm.
narratively. Nothing exciting that like you can't name three exciting things, like truthfully exciting things for each character in the Straw Hats post time skip. You get maybe one each, maybe not even two.
It's
So,
been the Monster Trio, and that's pretty much it.
yep. So if somebody getting the devil fruit, I'm all for it. Whether it's Nami or it'd be funny. What if okay, this could be a plot twist. What if Nami ended up eating the fruit and she got big bones fruit?
Oh. Mm. So are
Just
you saying
teasing.
randomly or like
Yeah,
she.
random. It just so happened.
Wait a second. Wait
She
a
still has
second,
Zeus. I'm
Vontae.
trying to think like if.
Hold on. Have we been looking at what they've been feasting? They've been feasting on fruit, right?
Ah, I think so. Oh, they actually, or was it just? I remember them talking about the food too, like
Oh, Vontae,
specifically.
I think we're tripping. They
What?
literally said absinthe, the green fairy, careful, there's a chance it'll make you hallucinate.
Oh
I think
yeah. You're right. Yeah.
like what are we talking about?
Hey man,
But this
I
would
still
be
think.
really cool if we had let's just get into Nami's head a bit. We haven't really had,
Ah,
like an inside look at her fears, an inside look at like what her dreams are. What if she's like, this is all a concept in her head?
hmm, hmm, maybe. When she gets into her, I actually like that a lot. That's an easy and great way to get into character uh stuff and stories. Just get it in her head, whether it's dreams or just monologues.
So the giant said, careful, it'll make you hallucinate. Do you think we'll get multiple people or at least just Nami and one other person? I would want maybe Usopp
Hmm. It
or
seemed
maybe
like it's
Zoro.
still half of them though, because half of
Yeah,
them
I
were
know.
like,
Like
still there
the
present.
going the not the going Mary. God, I'm so sorry. The Thousand Sunny. I'm not putting respect on your name. The Thousand Sunny is gone for now,
Right.
and it was
Then
attached via a string.
and somebody did, yeah, Nami, wake up. Who
Hmm.
knows? Oh no, this is a hallucination. Emily Rudd go kill it in 15 years. Damn.
Please. Long. Long.
Let's see. What was it? Um, parting, red hair, Blackbeard, or was it? Oh, okay. So going back to Lafitte, have you noticed that Lafitte he does missions on his own all the time? Like ever
He's
way since
capable.
way back since he had
He is
said Blackbeard should be
capable.
warlord. He's
Yep.
been doing all the time. Like what is this guy? Oda, who, like, what is he, man?
Didn't you say in one of your reactions that like Lafitte is actually based off of a real world pirate as well, like a pretty
Yeah.
famous one?
Mm-hmm. That was like renowned at like a lot of shit. He's just good at a lot of stuff, apparently.
Mm.
Yeah, Lafitte, he's been on it all the time. Um, hmm. Oh, I must have too much to drink. Exactly.
Yeah, like
Exactly. No.
I don't know what but it's interesting. Is this someone that is intervening, or alternatively, is this within her own mind?
Maybe there is some interview. Maybe there really is like a fairy type. Some like it like not only are you hallucinating, but the hallucination is real at the same time. Like there is some kind of fairy or some shit like that. And I noticed something. The ones who stayed back, Jinbei, Frankie, Robin, Lilith, Bonnie, I don't think they drank. They drank anything. Let me go back.
Robin did not.
'Cause I doubt
Obviously,
she
I would
did.
hope so. Bonnie didn't drink. Frankie's kind of a cyborg, so even if he did drink, I don't think it would have that much of an effect. Same with Kuma.
Yeah. Robin
And
just
then
she was just
Lilith.
eating. Yep, Frankie dancing.
And then Brooks the undead, so I don't think he can really drink anything.
Oh yeah, Usopp, Jinbei, they're cooked. I think I remember Sanji saying like, "This tastes weird" or something like that. Where is that? I seen him say something like that. Where is that at?
This is some strong booze. I think
Strong
that's the only
booze.
thing he said.
So yeah, I think.
So potentially we could have. I don't think Luffy drinks. He's more concerned with eating, but he's probably wherever, in a food coma. So we'll have Sanji, we'll have Zoro, Usopp, and Nami. So the
OG,
original four.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like. Interesting. Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna throw something out for you, Vonte. What do you think about a shared hallucination?
Wait. That'll be fire. That's fire. But another thing I just thought about, they were the ones who did the toast, the OG toast, right? About their dreams on the mirror.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Here
what
we
does that
go.
mean? Is Usopp
Here we go.
in here? Is his in here then? He was the last one that did it, right? And then
he was kind of like timid about it.
Oh no! I swear to God, if that pops up when he's about to die or something, I swear oh my God, this foreshadowing. Oda, please stop! Oh no, not with the OG.
I think we're cooking.
OG
This
four.
is so subtle that it's just those four.
Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, Nami, or 5, right?
I mean, Luffy's technically there, but I don't unless they cook the meat with the absinthe.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Maybe this is just like Oda giving us like another, because he's been giving us like little reminders that we're really in the last, like this is the last stretch. The fact that Shanks saying I want to claim the One Piece. Everybody's making these moves, even Dragon out of all people is making moves, and then the callbacks right now with the original 4, right?
Yep.
So it's like, oh man, yeah, yep, that's what it seems like. And
this just made me really love this chapter even more than when I first read it. Just talking about it,
we're gonna reestablish the dreams, man.
And it could even be like a check-in, like a report card version.
Yep.
Like if you self-reflect in a hallucination, it's just like, okay, now I have to actually apply myself.
Ooh,
like
man.
This could give Usopp bravery. This could have Nami like look at her charts and be like, this is trash. I need to start over.
Oda, if you're doing that, please do that. Actually, because like if you know, like One Piece, a lot of us been saying it recently. It's been becoming more grounded, how it used to be in pre-time skip. So
Yep.
I think
Yep.
Oda knows. I think he knows. He was focusing on that Yonko saga for so long that he's
He kind of
like,
got lost in
yeah,
the
it's
sauce.
time. It's time. And I'm glad because well, all these different even the character callbacks during the Vegapunk speech, like people that we forgot all about.
Perfect.
Like Oda, he was itching to get back to like just the grounded One Piece. And that's what the best writing is when it's grounded. So now we get grounded with the characters once again. Even though they're on a Yonko crew, we get to reestablish, revisit what their dreams are, and then, you know. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up, so I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna go back to Loki. But that would be fire though, man. See,
Well,
we
what do you
predicted the
if
first.
this is something in Nami's, hallucination mind, do you think that there's going to be any reference to her, childhood in here? Do you
I
think
think so.
maybe like we'll see some parents, we'll see some stuff with like Bellamere? I think Bellamere can make a return in this
100%.
little hallucination.
100%.
Yikes.
And I just forgot about Saul is here on the island too. Man, oh yeah, we're getting back to that. Oh man, OG One Piece. Yes. Oh yeah, this arc, I have high hopes for this arc. Oda to cook with it, man. At least go 2 for 2, back to back, please.
So there's kind of like 2 stripes on Nami's arm, and also kind of the I don't know what you call it. Is it? It's not like a garter belt, is it? But she has like a strap on her thigh. Didn't she used to have that in her original design?
Yeah,
Both the
I think
stripes
so.
and then the belt on her thigh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh.
You know what's good about this too? This will be a good, even though it's canon, this is like the type of filler type arc that works in anime. But obviously this is canon in the manga. One of those like reminder recap type, even though
Mm-hmm.
it's not really a recap. Well, I guess somewhat of a recap, but mostly like just them thinking about their dreams and whatnot. Oh man. But I like that Oda's doing this because if he's doing this specific, more so for like Usopp, since this is supposed to be his
Mm-hmm.
arc, I like that he's still making it like the OG for, you know, and it's not just Usopp, even though this is for Usopp mostly, but we're just reestablishing everybody else's dreams just as much.
What do you think? Let's just guess that we'll get to see the original 4's dreams, or kind of like a check-in. What do you think we might see from each of them?
Let's see. You know, it's kind of funny. I feel like, hmm. Well, maybe going through a timeline of their life, kind of like what you were saying, and then it's gonna be really good, like in an artsy way. I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
Like with Sanji with all blue, like his imagination of it or whatever, and just cooking. Zoro
Oh,
obviously gonna have Mihawk in it. Him getting stabbed by Mihawk when they fought the first time, or getting slashed by him, and then the training, and then everything from his childhood with his friend going all the way. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty fire.
do you think maybe we could get some Queen stuff? We could get some.
Yep, absolutely.
Hmm.
That's when he's gonna know. He's like, oh yeah, I've been drinking.
This is the perfect opportunity for Oda to give us like a what if version of his series. You could get what if Zoro and Quina left together as bounty hunters? What if Sanji never had to have Zeph's leg cut off? What if help came early? For Nami, like what if Bellamere survived?
Right.
I have so many thoughts in my head about how this is.
So if Luffy is a part of this, it's gonna be very interesting because we're not supposed to know his dream yet, but we're gonna get another hint, which I'm excited for, so we can theorize some more if he is a part of this.
Yeah. How's it going, Gavin? Let me take a
Yo.
look at what you said in the Discord. Oh yeah, I definitely have I agree that this has the feeling of like an arc, a mini arc before Elbath. Even though it still might technically be included in it, I think this is perfect.
Yeah. Imagine if Odin went at this pace throughout the series. This series would have ended already. Like seriously, like the whole Yonko saga was just so dragged out in certain arcs where it was just like, especially with like Dressrosa and Wano, those two arcs both combined are like runtime is like 7 years, 8 damn near, I think.
That's crazy.
So
7 years?
And the whole kick is like maybe 3 tops. Dressrosa a little over 3, Wano a little over 3. So yeah, that's like 10 years. Yeah, it's just about 10 years damn near now.
I feel like there was a couple of things I wanted to talk about Blackbeard's crew.
I want to spend more time with Blackbeard's crew. But even though they are like the worst criminals, I just like seeing them together. They have good chemistry. It's just funny just seeing how they act towards each other.
They let Moria escape. I said I was going to say something about that earlier. I still don't like it. I don't like how incompetent that makes me feel about them.
When they said it, I took it as like when they were fighting against. Did it happen against Garp?
Probably.
So I see that they were prioritizing Garp, and then shit happened. Shit was getting fucked up, and whether it was incompetent or not, I can see how it happened.
Oh yeah, like I can see how it happened too, but I don't like it. I feel like you guys.
That's why
especially with the fact with like how Kuzan, he is like signed, sealed, delivered. He is on the team now.
Yeah,
or at least in Teach's eyes.
And plus Blackbeard when he was talking to Pizarro, even though it's mostly about like, well yeah, it's like, what are y'all doing? I was over here bodying the law and his crew, and I come back, y'all supposed to get the job done. Y'all had multiple men here. If anything, it's Shiryu's fault because he was the one that was mostly just kind of there and sneaking in. And like, you should have been one on guard. I mean, you literally were a goddamn guard.
Like you worked in a prison.
Yeah, like what the hell? Or maybe he doesn't give a fuck. Which, even us, we don't care about Moria. But once again, this devil fruit is very like, come on. If you guys wanted it, I'm sure you should have already taken it.
Yeah.
Well, or did they imply that already?
I think it was implied that they took his fruit, and that's why I was even more upset when I thought that thought, and then saw that Moria escaped. So he escaped without his devil fruit. You guys were lacking.
Who do you think has his fruit then? Well, it has to be either Lafitte or.
I don't think Lafitte was here when it happened. But I will say, that
was a while back.
Well, I guess that's true. And depending on how long it took to extract, because what I was thinking is that Lafitte has hypnotism powers, we assume, or at least that's been heavily implied. So if you could hypnotize someone and then cut off their shadow, that's a deadly 1-2 combo.
Oh yeah, he's literally like the twice. Like he can have like a whole fucking army of people.
But then we have to consider like the wings that we saw with him. Is that because of the race that he's from? Or is that because of a pre-existing devil fruit? Because remember, he was one of the people that essentially pulled up on the warlords meeting without any sort of, consequence for that, as far as we know.
He might be like
I'm more so thinking he's like a mythical Zoan fruit. Maybe I saw a really cool theory. It's like a hypnotic owl or something like that. I'll try to find it and send it to you. But yeah, and hypnotic owl mythical devil fruit would be nasty.
If they did take Moria's fruit, who the hell would they even have it though? I mean, well, Blackbeard wouldn't. I think we would already seen him use it, but I think everybody else has a fruit on the crew. Burgess has a strong fruit. Von Auger, Warport, Devon, the Nine Tails, uh,
What's the drunk dude's name?
Vasco shot. He has the
Vasco
liquor
shot.
fruit or some shit like that. The doctor, the sick fruit.
Ugh.
Who else is on the crew? Obviously, Kuzan. He has.
Now, obviously, we're kind of operating under the assumption that the only reason Blackbeard can have multiple devil fruits is because of his lineage. What if, like, the maximum for a person in this world is actually 3? Do you think any one of these other, commanders could have a second one?
Maybe. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe Lafitte. I mean, he looks pretty fucking.
He could have two.
Everybody, he looks like he might be. Or what if they had an object eat it? A weapon.
An object.
Going back to
like Shuryu's sword.
Yeah.
So he's invisible and he can cut your shadow while invisible.
That's actually really fire. That's a dope roundabout way to have like 2 abilities in a way, or 2 like fruits, devil fruits, even though you don't actually have to. Because they say a sword is the extension of your arm, so it's like
does Blackbeard have a weapon that he uses, or primarily he's just like a fisticuffs kind of devil fruit user? I don't think I've seen him use like a
just fist. I know he has like
that's
a
what
pistol,
I thought.
He uses it.
Yeah.
He used to have the little, how Shanks got scarred, but that's when he was a kid.
That was just kind of a traditional type of weapon.
Yeah. But yeah.
But I mean, a few of them, they wear either like jewelry, they wear helmets, they wear like accessories.
Let me think. How would they? I'm trying to think of. Is it possible to use a fruit as like power itself, like you can control it without eating it?
What do you mean?
Like say like Law's fruit, right? Flare, like you can control fire, but like what if you can use a fruit and still use the abilities from the fruit even though you don't consume it? So like maybe it's like some kind of ritual, like you put it in a pentagram and you do something where you can still use the fruit but you don't actually consume it itself somehow. I don't know. I was just trying to think of a way for like that fruit. And I was thinking about like rocks, like say if rocks was alive or whatever the fuck's going on with them. Mm-hmm. That might be the reason why they got the fruit. To resurrect, quote unquote, resurrect them or whatever. I'm just trying to think of why Moria. I mean, obviously Moria, because just like with Boa Hancock, they wanted her fruit too because they know it's fire. But if they did take it from Moria, I'm just like, what did you do with it? I know you didn't just sell it. I don't think you did that. You would want to keep it, but to use it for somebody. So either somebody can use 2 fruits, like you said, somebody else on the crew, or have 2 fruits, or you're doing something else with it.
I've always kind of zeroed in on Blackbeard having those rings on his fingers. Do you think maybe a devil fruit could be imbued into a ring?
Maybe. That's a good point.
Because that way you might be able to actually use it without actually, consuming it.
Somebody on that crew definitely going to get it. Because I could see them matching up with Brooke. And Brooke is like, oh shit, this again? Really? This damn fruit. I'm tired of it.
Yo! You can't cut my shadow again!
It would be cool if it's Lafitte, because Lafitte, he basically looks dead, and Brooke is, Brooke.
They've updated Lafitte's design though, right? It's not
Did
just
they?
me. Like I think.
Maybe he's
mm,
wearing something different, but he is still like pale looking.
oh no, I meant more so like his attire, not like
Oh,
his facial expression per se.
probably, probably. No, Blackbeard, he be changing. Blackbeard got the drip. Is Blackbeard like the? Well, I don't know. Mm, no, they're kind of like just a mixed bag. I was about to say, is he like the least craziest on the crew?
Least crazy?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's weird to say
Debatable.
that, but like, I know he's the leader and all, but he does keep them very accountable. Like, he's not playing, especially right now. He is
You
not
let
playing.
Moria go?
Like, what are you doing? Yeah, he's like, what are y'all doing, man? Oh, by the way, I want to say this. I love that panel of Bonnie and Kuma. By the way, I love that they get to live, look at the sunset, or look at the sun.
To
I
a
like
certain
that.
extent, yep.
Characters don't always have to die. Once again, I always bring up like All Might, for example. He doesn't have to die. Once he fall off for one, he lost, his power most pretty much. He like the hero died, but he still like you don't need to always do that. It's cool, but you don't always have to do it.
And like what might even be just kind of like a somber reminder is if like Kuma never speaks a word again. He could just be, just, and I hate to say this, a husk of his former self. Like he might smile, he might, like beam whenever Bonnie says something cute and adorable, which is all the time. But he doesn't necessarily have to have the same personality he did before the nuclear option that Dr. Vegapunk implemented that was supposed to kill him off or self-destruct button, but he did that on an emotional level. So it would be quite depressing if Kuma were to never speak another word again.
Right.
Did we ever get an explanation why Bartolomeo's, epithet was the cannibal? Was it because how he looked, or was it like, did he actually eat people? I can't see it based on his personality, unless it was like a survival type of thing.
I think it was like yeah, I don't think he literally was eating people.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like, yeah, it's just happened. Like, yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna search it up. It's actually a pun. Eating people means to mock them in Japanese. Makes sense. Damn, Barto is dead. Like, which I don't think so. But if he is, damn man, he's a very likable character.
Again, kind of the same thing with Stussy. I just don't see him going out like that. For Shanks to essentially pull one over on him and the entire crew of the Luffy fan squad, just for Yasop to kill them all, it reminds me very much of like the Law situation, to where, yes, you destroyed the ship, but you have not destroyed the pirate.
Yeah, but like, that's a clear intent to kill from Yasop, and Shanks didn't stop him. I mean, it probably was instantaneous, so he couldn't stop him. But like,
you think?
And Barto is a devil fruit user. I know Kid is too, but Kid just has more of a role in the story. I feel like I don't think he's. I mean, both of them might not be dead, but once I know you're not like a Shanks fan, but like I like to poke fun at Shanks fans.
Poke the bear. I get it. Yeah.
Because like there's two things, right? They get so hyped. For first of all, everybody and their mothers talk shit about Kid like he's Reggie, right? We all do, for the most part. We all do. We all talk shit.
It's well known.
I never understood why they hype that so much. It's Kid, man. It's Kid. Even though I personally like Kid is very strong. Like realistically, all agenda aside, he is really strong. But like people always big that up. Didn't you guys always call Kid like a scrub? He got carried by law against Big Mom, this, that, and the third. So you're hyped up about that. And now I'm seeing people also hyped up about them doing that to Barto. I'm like, what does that tell you? And say if they both survive, what does that really tell you about Shanks? If we're talking about like in an agenda piece dialect, he's garbage.
I
He's
think,
soft.
well, he's not. So here's the thing.
He is
Even
soft.
if he is an assassin, I feel like he has kind of steeled himself, for lack of a better term, to say that the next generation is not something that you should clip the bud too early. Like, yes, I will kill the Gorosei. They've had their time in the sun. It's time to get them out of here. I will kill any like admiral that stands in my way. I might even kill some of the other Yonko, like Kaido. Like, we still don't know what that interaction between Shanks and Kaido looked like
We
in
don't
Wano,
know.
and how he's somehow made it from Wano to Marineford
Right.
almost instantaneously.
It was literally a day. They said the day before, I think.
Yeah, it was
did he
like
travel all the way there in
no
a day?
travel time. No
Yeah.
travel time.
So what? He's just so weird, and I kind of like it though because I want to see what Oda does cook up with him. But he is. I don't want to say that Oda also could very much write himself into a corner because I really think he can with Shanks. Like whatever he does with Shanks is not going to satisfy everybody based off of the track record, especially as a more recent post time skip. He's been moving very, very strange. He's able to stop the whole war. He was able to travel in less than a day, probably instantaneous from Wano all the way to Marineford. He was able to go and talk to the Gorosei, and they're like, "Oh, because you're you, da da da." Yeah, your presumed father ends up becoming the one of the Gorosei, if that is your dad, which seems like it. He becomes the leader. I mean, not leader, but one of the Gorosei, and then you end up fighting against Kid, stopping Kid, getting somebody else to kill him, and then you first you say he was going to punish Barto, but then you let him go, and then somebody else killed Barto. Like something about him, I don't know, man. He keeps his hands clean somehow. That's kind of my point. After everything that I've said, he not escaped, but he avoided a fight with Kaido because you know who Kaido is. Of course, he probably wanted to fight Shanks and go to Marineford and fight as well. He's able to. He has clean hands all the time.
This is going to sound like the strangest analogy. He is perpetually a third party. Yeah. And I think it's because he's living in the future. I don't think that he has accepted the fact. Maybe it's either. Okay, so let me rewind a little bit, ironically. So it seemed to me when Luffy was fighting Katakuri and they were both using Future Sight, let's just call it, it seemed like it had to be turned on. It didn't seem like it was always turned on. What if like that type of always turned on aspect of observation haki for Future Sight is related to his bloodline? So I think I've brought up this point before in our discussions, but maybe not necessarily on camera. I don't remember if I was reading One Piece, reacting to it on YouTube at the time. But I was theorizing that the bloodline of the Celestial Dragon specifically might have had a boost or a power-up to the baseline levels of haki. So, Conqueror's haki. If you're a Celestial Dragon, you're more likely to have it because you have more kingly ambitions. Armament haki. It might save you from the masses trying to kill you if you're able to get a better barrier. And 3, for observation haki, it can allow you to see far into the future. Shanks has never seemed like he's had a lot of urgency about himself. Mm-hmm. So now, if he's like always looking into the future, maybe 1 month, maybe he sees some crazy stuff. And that's maybe why the guy said, like, oh, make sure you get this to Luffy in a month.
Yeah.
What if that would have happened? What if Barto, he's not the person that he is, but let's just say that he was in Luffy's vicinity within the next month. What would this little poison attempt have done? Would it have refocused Luffy? Would it have kind of confirmed whether or not maybe it's a specific poison. Maybe it's a poison specifically for zoan fruits. Because Barto's paramecia, if Shanks is a master assassin, could it have been specialized to a certain type or category of devil fruit?
Or I'm gonna go a different route.
Okay.
What if it actually was a poison? What if it was an antidote? And that's why he needed to give it to Luffy, but now he don't got it.
Oh, and he was an antidote
Because
for an upcoming poison.
First,
Ooh. Well, because the government, as we saw in Egghead, they're like, don't let him eat. Don't let him eat. It would be quite easy to poison Luffy, I feel.
Plus, Barto, he was like, oh, he just burped. He's like, oh, I thought it was poison. I'm good. I'm chilling. So what if it was an antidote?
And that's why Shanks
why
looked like he did.
Yes. And also the reason why Yasop probably even did that, because it's like, this motherfucker, this was for Luffy. No, he gotta go. I don't care, Captain. I know you're trying to spare him, but no, get out of here. Bye-bye. Maybe.
So that makes it seem like, if let's just assume that again is true for a second, that makes it seem like the whole crew is on board with whatever Shanks's like
for sure
are.
I've got that impression. The one character that makes me get that impression is literally Ben Beckman. Literally all the time. He's like, oh, okay. And also what you're saying, like with Shanks with like that future sight, the reason why his crew is so good, because he knows he can depend on them and he doesn't have to always go out there.
Oh, look behind his back. Yeah, they will always do what he expects them to do.
That's why we've never seen him get the kill. It's always been literally, for Kid, it was literally
Giants.
Dorian Broggy, and then literally right here with Yasop, even though that was a little different, but I just find it real interesting that he always keeps his hands clean in every situation. Kaido, Gorosei, Marineford, all these other interactions and kills, and like every time when you pull up to Whitebeard really early. I'm not saying that they were going to fight, but
if Shanks has that type of observation hockey to look into the future, do you think he knew it was necessary to save Luffy and sacrifice his arm? Like, how far in the future are you thinking that he can see?
That's my thing. Early One Piece makes things hard to like theorize, because Oda he very much could have thought of something differently. And
that's fine. I'm not trying to like bag on him for anyone that's watching at the moment. Yeah, but you're right. To try to retroactively take the whole series into account when theorizing, it's very difficult, damn near impossible.
And then it just depends on like, when did Shanks even develop this level of mastery when it comes to this? Has he always had this since he was a kid, like back in Roger's crew around the time Roger died? Did the hat do it? Does the hat? I think that the hat definitely has some kind of hockey. I just don't know how exactly. Is it like you have to tap into it when you master hockey yourself or something?
Well, you were saying earlier, what if observation hockey was able to be imbued into objects? Like, could you touch a straw hat?
Memories, but premonitions. So maybe he did. That's why he says.
I feel like that would also make Shanks such a tragic character if he's living this life in the future perpetually, kind of similar to Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. He doesn't get to live in the here and now. He always has to live out a future or a potential future to make sure we get there.
That must be why he also says, like, it's time for me to claim the One Piece, because now he's getting closer to the present, which means two things. One thing for sure, he's going to die because he knows his life is at the end now.
Absolutely.
The other one would be the
after the black
thing, but I don't think that would. I don't see how that would happen now based off of his character early on. That would have to be a big switch up. It would be like the reverse Itachi, where it's like first Itachi, we looked at him as just like this fucking villain. Like, what is wrong with you? Why did you do that? And then it was like, wait a minute, there's something about him. Okay. And like, oh wow, he was not like that at all. And Shanks starts off as like this really good, like just good guy, respected by everybody, for good reasons, not through fear. I mean, somewhat through
Hmm.
fear, but mostly through like just real genuine respect. And then he just ends up becoming worse and worse and worse. But I think it just has to do with him dying. Like he knows.
And you want me to just throw mud on like this past 30-minute conversation? What if Shanks does end up betraying Luffy? Like
Hey
this
man,
just recontextualizes this entire scene.
I'm not gonna lie
If
to you,
he's
that might
like,
be the greatest plot twist of all time in anime. Like
would be
just by the years, the
so
longevity, who the
impactful.
person is. That's his
30
mentor. That's his
years,
hero.
like that might be Luffy's worst setback. And I say that
Oh, for
even
sure.
knowing that his brother died in front of him. That would be the worst. Shanks has been the father his entire life. He's been his goal. He says, I'm literally going to become a great pirate by getting the One Piece and then give you back the Straw Hat.
That would be wild. But it's so hard for me to even say like that would be out of character for Chase and to do that. But who knows? Because he moves so it's so ambiguous with his character. Where I'm like, I don't really think I can
I don't know
say
what to
if
think.
anything was bad or not. Like I think Oda knows what he wants to do. Obviously, he can literally with
Mhm.
Shanks. He can literally go like three different routes with him.
Yeah.
One, him always living into in the future, basically, like you said, which sounds like that's kind of the thing, just the way that he acts and moves.
Okay.
The other one being that the plot twist, he betrays him, or he's just always been this good guy the whole time, and he probably gets killed against Blackbeard or some shit, or whatever,
Or,
or
I mean,
Emu,
he could be the assassin that fails
or that.
the one
Sure.
job that he needs to do. Like, what
I
if
don't know.
his job is to kill Emu and he fails? Like, the only assassin in this world that could potentially kill Emu, and he fails. This immortal being, this god on this planet.
So kind of like a Ging situation in Bleach, but just done way better.
Exactly.
It really could be exactly that way. He probably even seen him when he was a kid, when he wasn't supposed to, and like, yeah, it could be a lot into that. But One Piece, once again, it gets so exciting because I haven't been able to theorize like this with One Piece in a while. Like, I just
I
haven't.
say
But
not
now,
since like for me, not since like Punk Hazard. And I know you don't feel too highly on that arc. I personally love that arc because of like what it introduced. But in terms of just from a raw theorizing perspective, Fishman
yeah,
Island, maybe?
personally, me, it's funny. You like Punk Hazard, I like Fishman Island, and we just
Exact
like
opposite.
then it's like, and it's funny because those two arcs are the ones that get shit on a lot post time shit. But I don't care, man. Like what I like, I
I mean,
like
I like what I like. You like what you like. That's fine. We don't have to like the same things. It's a big series.
But yeah, it's man, it. So is Shanks kind of like the Nagato then in this situation, where it's like he's like the child of prophecy, but he's not the child of prophecy. However, he's essentially supposed to build up the actual child of prophecy,
I can see that.
which is Naruto or Luffy.
Absolutely.
Um,
I will say that Oda, and I love this for him because I know he's had the Kuma plotline in his brain for a while. He's probably had most of Shanks' story already planned out from the beginning.
Oh, for sure.
So for him to finally be able to reveal this to his readers is going to be such a treat because I know that he's been wanting to do this.
Bruh, he spent over my whole entire lifespan, my whole time being on Earth, he spent that much time on some of these characters. Like that's even like Dragon.
Crazy.
Like Dragon appeared in episode 52 or something like that. Very early in One Piece. Extremely early. And he's Luffy's dad. He's the main character's father. I like him, Shanks. There's certain characters in the series he's been waiting for. Kuma, he waited for him for a while, but like those other two, man. And he finally gets to do that. And I know he probably is kind of mad at himself that he spent so much time on that whole Yonko saga. I could tell. Just the way that the pacing is now, he's doing the transitional arc stuff during the arcs now. The Garth Kuzan, the Blackbeard, Law, the kid,
Yep.
Shanks, all that stuff happened during Egghead. It's literally part of that
Mhm.
arc. Usually that's always in the in between of arcs.
Yeah.
But now it's all happening at once. So like if you keep moving like that, man, he's gonna get to where he wants really quick. He should have been thought like that, but you know, it is what it is. At least we're still on a long adventure. You can watch the series for a long time if you want to rewatch or reread. So there's that.
And even with like the upgrades that the anime are doing, like he's working with the animation crew to
Yep.
you know expand out on some of these storylines, some of these fights. You
Shit,
just
even
get
the voice
so
for
much of
Eagle.
a potentially.
Ooh, I can't wait for this episode this week because that's when he's going to talk more. And okay, I'm ready for that.
Hmm.
Just I don't know about that. The damn preview. I don't know about them silhouettes though.
We shall see. That was
Come on,
slightly
man.
concerning. You know,
Wolves at night.
they're not all home runs. Okay, so one final thing. I know that you joined pretty early, but I don't know if you heard me talk about the cover page. So there are missing girls specifically in Wano. Did you have any thoughts on that, or just kind of moved on?
The only thought that I had was that it's weird. There's a lot of weird shit going on in Wano because the guy with the nails in his nose, he was missing the last cover, last chapter.
Yep.
The guy that Frankie was working with. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of weird things going on.
Do you think they're building something that relates to Pluto? Pluton. My apologies.
Probably because we know that Odin's father. I mean, you know, he was the one that told us was Robin in Law.
Yeah.
So maybe.
And I was thinking potentially just based off of, you know, they say that Pluton is located beneath Wano in some form or capacity. What if the only way to access certain parts of that labyrinth is with small, petite bodies? So, I don't know. Maybe it's like they're trying to go through this like pyramid to get to Pluton. Maybe Pluton is behind a whole bunch of barriers.
Oh, okay. This is another thing. How you brought up Pluton. There's something I thought about with like, especially with the last anime episode of Lily. The fact that she was from Alabasta. She was Queen of Alabasta. And then we know that Crocodile and Pluton, he was looking for the blueprints, or he was looking for it. So it's interesting. Alabasta, Wano. Do you think that Lily traveled to Wano at some point? Maybe with Pluton? Since it was years ago, because remember that what Pluton is an ancient, that's stuff that got flooded. So it was a whole city that lived there. You know, it was, you know, shit happened and now it's underwater.
You know, on top of the continents.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you think that she traveled there with Pluton? Especially if it was like once again, Crocodile was like, oh, Alabasta, yeah, Alabasta.
Well, I mean, here's an idea. We were talking about Wano. What was Odin's wife name?
Toki.
Toki? Do you think maybe Lily was the first time traveler, devil fruit holder?
I was thinking that. I definitely thought of that before.
And maybe to escape Emu, she had to jump into the future.
Yep.
And then maybe traveled back to Alabasta.
Do you have like any idea how far she jumped into the future? Hard to even think about exactly when.
Okay, here's a question. When Toki time traveled, do you remember if she got to choose how many years she went forward, or was it more so random? I think it was more so random. right?
Didn't she like do it a few times, like consecutively?
No, but I
I thought I
think that
remember
she just
saying.
kind of like rolled the dice. Yes, she did go forward multiple times,
Mhm.
but I don't think they get to choose how many years.
I, s- I just
I'd love
realized
to
that
have that
fruit.
confirmed.
That fruit was kind of tricky now that I think about it. So what happens if somebody dies and then that fruit does it?
I think it'll get reincarnated like to the closest fruit. I mean, however the devil fruits get
No, no, no.
reincarnated,
I
what do you mean?
I know that, but like, okay, maybe I'm thinking too much into like the whole time thing. I'm just thinking like, what if
Yeah.
somebody from the past traveled forward in time, like her, like Toki did, and dies? Yes, her
Okay.
fruit would have spawned somewhere else there, but doesn't that mean that there's a duplicate, or does that not make sense? Only if you travel back in time, right? There'll be a duplicate, or would
Do
they
they
not be a
have the
duplicate?
ability to travel back in time? I thought it was only forward in time.
Actually, never mind. I don't even think it'll be a duplicate because that's just your fruit, and whatever timeline you die in, it just spawns somewhere else. So never mind. I was thinking too much into it.
Okay. Let's connect this to another idea I just had. So for the time traveling, let's just call them gaps between times when Toki jumped forward and potentially Lily, but we'll put a pin in that for now. Remember how I kept saying it seemed very odd that the Nika Nika no Mi, it was only held, as far as we know, by two people in history.
Mm-hmm.
So, did Joy Boy travel forward in time with Toki or with Lily initially?
Maybe. This would be funny because
Or,
he, because like, okay, maybe he did, and when we seen him talking to Emmet, that was like say like a century or two in the future from
mm-hmm,
where the war, because like either it happened before the war or after, but I just kind of feel like he was they're like in a chill, it was a chill moment, a chill
it was times
panel.
a piece,
So,
I think.
so
Yeah.
maybe, or what if he just turned to the fruit itself? Like I don't know, he just
I
which
mean, that's possible, but then
the
she could
whole
have
will
carried the
theory.
fruit to the future. Do you think
That
maybe she
too.
was skipping time in order to find a suitable
Mm,
timeline to plant the seed that was the Nika Nika fruit?
maybe.
And then if you start thinking about observation hockey, what if she could do like, okay, I'm going to travel to X point in time, look forward a year. No good. I'm going to transport 2 years in time. I'm going to look another year in the
Oh, I see
future.
what you mean.
So on and
That's
so
actually pretty
forth.
fire.
And then that's when she saw that Shanks would eventually take over the ship housing the fruit from Who's Who. Luffy would eat it, so on and so forth. That's when Nika gets reincarnated.
That's a good point. I really do think there's some fruit shenanigans though. Like the whole will thing that Vegapunk I like, you know what that really makes me think too, now that I think about it. And I said this before. Well, I didn't really no, I said something different. I said something about rocks turning into hockey itself. But I think it
Mm-hmm.
makes way more sense if he manifested to the fruit and Blackbeard was targeting that fruit for that reason.
Because it had Rox's, soul encapsulated in it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think exactly. Like once again, the modern situation where he actually survived. He actually lived a little longer. He actually grew old and then he died and then he came back like what, like not like 15 years later or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I don't know. Every time I think about Rox, I think that he's something about him is alive. I don't know if he's still alive as just a person, a fruit, some fucking hockey. I don't know. I think he's still lingering around. I don't believe that he's dead or he's gonna get resurrected. His character, he's just like no. I don't think he's just a person of the past. Same thing. Just like I don't think Joy Boy is just a person of the past. There's something about him that whether he lives within Luffy or whatever the case may
Think he
be.
lives in the shadow?
Maybe.
That's why Morio's fruit is such a central part of this whole story.
Yep. I wonder. Okay, one last thing. Remember we were talking a few days ago about like why would Emu want Blackbeard a part of like Vivi
Yep.
or Shirahoshi and Luffy?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about like his fruit and whatnot.
Yep.
It could simply just be that, but I feel like there is more to it because he wants to be the king of the world, and that's literally what Emu. That's what Emu is. So
yeah.
I wonder if Emu had the same thing with Rocks. Like Rocks wanted to be the king of the world too, and they had to take out Rocks, which is why God Valley. Maybe he did get taken out there. While
so like Joy
else,
Boy to Luffy, and then Rocks to Blackbeard.
Yeah, which I kind of like. It's like I've always been a fan of like villains against villains because I always think it's really cool to just see that kind of dynamic. So like usually, obviously, we have the good, the Luffy, the Joy Boy versus the Dark, the Emu, right?
Yeah.
But you have another extension where there's the quote unquote evil of Blackbeard of Rocks to also Emu and also to Luffy. So I like that little triangle right there because once again, my prediction, I think Blackbeard will kill the Emu, sneak up and kill them, take their power, whatever fucking power it is. I also see Emu killing Shanks and not Blackbeard killing Shanks. Well, those are just my predictions. Those are my predictions. Because the game situation, the failed assassin thing, that plot. And yeah, but there's a lot of key players in this story. It's Dragon, Garb, like all I know is I need to see Dragon, Garb, and Luffy team up. Like, come on, like, come on. Like how Kid, Law, and Luffy teamed up with Sabaody. I want to see that lineup just back to back, or side to side. It's go crazy.
That trio would go so hard.
We need that. And I don't think we don't have no break next week too. Let's go.
Oh yes, I didn't even think there's so much to talk about this chapter. I didn't even think about that. Nice.
Oh, they usually be hitting us with the breaks. We said, nah, I got y'all. No, but for real, what we said earlier, I think we were spitting about the whole dream illusion scenario with the core 4
hallucination.
Please, that would be so good. That's so good.
And I even think in that sort of vulnerable like state, I would like to think, not guarantee it, I would like to think that Sanji would not be a perv. I think he would recognize the danger of this situation, especially if they have a shared hallucination, that this could either be the work of an adversary or alternatively, like even worse, could they not wake up from this?
It definitely is like a shared illusion because it was like she is in like a castle or like some kind of I can see like she's like I can see if she's like in a section of that place, that fairy place or whatever.
Yeah.
I do think that this means that Usopp is going to die though, if that is the case. Because why would you do the core 4 dreams now? Well, we know that other people have dreams too, the other half of the crew that joined afterwards. So the fact that
I think it's to make the loss of Usopp hurt even more.
Yes, and the toast, because it was those 5 there doing the toast. So I really think this is the end for him. We said it here first, y'all.
And we didn't just say like, oh, it's Elbaf arc, so Usopp will die. No, like
right.
This there is so much more to this theory based off of this one chapter.
And then Oda just shuts it down when he shows us Loki stuff or something. I'm like, okay, Oda.
You're a wizard, Loki. You're a wizard.
Ooh.
No. Either way, Oda's been cooking. This was a fantastic chapter. I adore how he is keeping up the mystery on a consistent basis.
Right. Do we know
There's-
when that new One Piece, the what studio? Do we know that when that's dropping?
It's in production. I would probably say late 2025 if I had a guess.
Okay. 'Cause I was trying to
And I
think
don't even
like
know
what
how
if
many episodes they'll have. They'll probably go up until maybe if they don't, if they cut out some stuff, I would put them at maybe like the toast. At the end of the year, they
that's
might
what
have
I'm
like
thinking.
1 or 2 seasons, but they
That's
could
what I'm
end it
thinking.
there.
When was the toast again? Was it after Arlong or was it after?
The toast was
I know
after
Logtown.
Loketown when they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
sailing into the Grand Line, just before they did.
Low key, the toast is going to pop up like 3 times within a year or two, if that's the case. Maybe. Well, depending on how long. I guess since
You
the
said
season
you
only
think the
is 25
series will
episodes.
end in 2 years?
No. I'm saying that
Oh,
the
okay.
toast is going to happen. We're going to see that like 3 times in the next few years. So like we just seen it. Well, we're going to see it in the
Oh,
manga soon,
yep.
or whatever, right?
Hopefully,
And then we're going to see it, in this
2 piece
arc, we're going to see it in 2 piece. We're going to see it in the series right
live
now
action.
at some point,
Mhm.
and in the live action. That's 4 different times we'll see this in the span of maybe 3 years. That's crazy. They keep showing us it.
It's reinforcing it. It's reinforcing it because of how much it's going to mean for this mainline
Bruh.
series when we get it referenced
4
back.
times manga once we get into the this animator, and then with studios, and then live at 4 times. We're gonna, god damn it.
It's going to be better each and every time. I get it. I just know it.
Man. And maybe Oda told the live action like production to put some emphasis on something, just a hint. Maybe, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool.
I could see
I mean,
it.
the Usopp thing, because he even stutters when he's about to say it. Like he's the last one to say it.
Brave warrior.
Yeah, and he was
Is that a
thinking
voice
about
crack?
it, and then he thought about his mom. Bruh,
Oh, God.
what if Yasop kills him? All right, that's the end of the stress.
Boom goes the dynamite. All right. Overall, I'd have to give this chapter probably, just for the amount of conversation that we had from it, probably a solid 9. I don't know what you rated it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hot take because there wasn't a whole lot that happened, but I just love the implications of what could happen from here on forward.
Yeah, I'll give it like a. I don't think I gave it a rating, but I'd probably say like an 8, close to 8.5, just because once again the topic, and it'll get boosted up though if our theory is right about the Straw Hat Corps.
I hope so. All right, guys. So do me a quick favor if you can. If you're enjoying tonight's stream, anything that we've theorized about, my initial reaction, the intro, if you're a weirdo, just kidding. I love you. Just go ahead and like the stream for me. I am seemingly on a roller coaster journey to 100 subs. I keep going up. I keep going down. I might never make it. But if you enjoy, leave me a like. Hopefully more people can watch the stream tonight and moving forward. And also subscribe to the channel. I haven't produced a lot of content on here, mainly my boy Vonte. We are on Mugen Eclipse for our anime, primarily dual reaction channel. But yeah, anything else you want to say before I get out of here?
Just stay tuned for Mugen Eclipse. A lot of stuff coming up next month. Literally on the 3rd, we have the Don. And then on the 5th, we have Bleach, and of course, we're still doing My Hero up to that point as well. There'll probably be like maybe 1 more episode during that week, I believe so, or 2,
probably
within that month. But we'll finish that up. Got a lot of fall stuff, some live action stuff, more anime stuff. And yeah, so stay tuned for all that. Stay tuned for our personal channels on here and on my channel for One Piece content, other manga, other news, whatever we do. Just support your boys. And yeah, it's pretty much all I got.
All right, perfect. Again, I don't have an outro, so goodbye.
Peace.